Before I get started on the video, I'd like to ask you guys to go ahead and hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button and hit the notification checkbox. That way you guys don't miss any future uploads from me and you become part of the notification squad. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the video. What's up, people of YouTube? This is Roll here, bringing you guys another video to my channel, and today we are going to be doing a rushing route guide over the map Pointe du Hoc. I have a little bit of a love for this map in a way. Sometimes I really don't like it, and this is a pretty basic rushing route guide. I think you guys will completely understand the best scenarios and the ways to go about handling this map for the most part. Obviously, you guys know this is probably a pretty dominant SMG map, but there's a couple of things that I can suggest and kind of give to you guys, especially if you don't want to only run an SMG. If you want to run something like, I mean, obviously you can run shotguns. They work pretty well on this map. But if you want to run something like an LMG or an assault rifle or a rifle, instead of using something like an SMG all the time. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is if you really do want to use assault rifles and you want to kind of be up in people's faces, obviously that doesn't usually work out too well, but you can play along the outsides of the map. What I do when I really want to use an assault rifle is I only go through the middle of the map if I need to get someplace quick, and even then it's a risk and it doesn't work out too well. But if you go along the outsides of the map, you can aim inwards. You got the back covering you. People with SMGs they're going to struggle to compete with you just because you have an assault rifle, and these are more open areas and longer ranges. Like if you have an assault rifle right here and you see somebody sitting up there with an SMG or coming out of this tunnel, obviously you're going to have the advantage in that situation. But if you're in the middle of the map and they've got a Tommy gun like I do, and you're using the FG42 or an M1 Garand or something, you're probably going to lose that gunfight most of the time. So this building right here, once again, it's an SMG heavy map, so you're going to lose a lot of gunfights to SMGs in here. But if you can get inside this building, I think if you're using an assault rifle, this building right here is super, super important to hold. The equivalent to this on the other side is obviously that bunker right there, but I just feel like it is so much easier to get killed inside that bunker when using an assault rifle than it is in this one, because if you use the S-mines, you can plant the S-mines at the doors. Use this up here to watch this line of sight, and this one right here. This one's a little bit more risky. You can pick people off from over there if you have some pretty good accuracy. And then you can just watch these doors from the top of the stairs. So, I mean, you sit right here, you got a head glitch. You can beat people with an assault rifle here. You can also beat people with an assault rifle here. Pretty common knowledge. I would strongly suggest if you're going to try and hold up in any room, it would be this room right here. Also, for the Christmas noobs out there, if you don't know this by now, this is a really, really nice head glitch right here to watch these doorways and these edges. You're a little exposed right there, and then obviously back here if your team doesn't have control of that side of the map. But right here is a really, really nice head glitch. You can do the same on this side. It's just not quite as good because people can flood from right there. But you can be more aware of this part of the map. I mean, you got this spot that they can come from where you still have the advantage. And right here, you can use SMGs and assault rifles in this position, but I think assault rifles are still pretty dominant for right here, aside from maybe like the MP40 or the grease gun or something like that. Once again, if you have control over this part of the map, this is a really nice area to hold down to be able to kind of watch these angles and stuff with an assault rifle. You can watch these areas right here. You're probably going to win a lot of those gunfights. That hallway. And then up here, it's just kind of a big rotation. If you use assault rifle, stay on the outside of the map, kind of work your way around. I think this corner right here is by far the worst place to have an assault rifle at on the outside of the map, because there are just so many opportunities for somebody to, come up the stairs and just catch you off guard. You can't be as quick with an assault rifle or a rifle, I should say. They're not assault rifles in World War II, but or inside these buildings. Like there's a lot of areas where you can get caught off guard. There's so many different directions. You can have somebody come from here, around this corner, over there. there, through this way, up here, and the same thing over here. If your team has that part of the map under control, you can just lose so many gunfights right here with SMGs or with assault rifles. So I just tend to try and stay away from this part of the map when I'm using an assault rifle, unless I'm spawning over here. And then up here, you do have an advantage with an assault rifle, but they're not. It's not perfect. I mean, it's good for a kill or two, and then you have to move. And I would always recommend going this direction with an assault rifle and not down that way. That's pretty much it in terms of using assault rifles on this map. And if you're spawning on that side, it's literally the same thing. I mean, you use the same concept. I wouldn't go to this side very much. I would stick to that bunker over there, and I would watch the lanes coming from this side and the lanes coming from that side. So basically, that's all you really need to know for this side of. Now, when controlling the middle of the map, you guys probably know that this trench right here and this trench right over there are by far the two most populated trenches on the map. So it's always super nice, regardless of what side you spawn on, to make the decision. Are you going to nade inside the bunker like that, or are you going to throw your nade over and into these trenches? Either way, you do it every time you're in that trench. You're going to get some kills with it. For, once again, the Christmas noobs, if you didn't know, you can hop up here on these barrels and along these edges. For people who have had the game since launch, just ignore this. I'm sure you guys already know that this is a thing. My favorite spot on this map is when you're spawning on this side. Here's a really good. This is my preferred spawn, by the way, on this map. When you're spawning on this side, you'll spawn right here in this puddle of grossness. And the best thing that I think you can do when spawning here is just immediately sprint right here. Right here. I would cook a grenade, throw it in that trench, hop down here, up onto these barrels if you didn't know you could get on them, and then sit right here and watch this trench. And then there's gonna be some people who are gonna sprint over here, and they're not gonna expect you sitting up here in this little corner like that. That is by far the best tip that I have. You can get on these barrels. This isn't a bad spot to be. I mean, it's something that you can catch people off guard with, but if you're spawning over there, you rush up to this spot at some point during the match, you're going to get caught by somebody sitting over here or somebody who's gotten up there that you didn't notice. But something that you can do is if you're in an engagement, if you're in a gunfight right here and the person backs off, you can try and take your chances of sprinting up here and waiting for them to challenge you, because they're going to come around this corner. They're not going to know where you're at. They expect you to be over here. You're going to come around this corner, and they might see you, but by the time they do, it's not going to matter as long as you don't have potato aim. And same thing with this side. I mean, same concept. You get into engagement, they back off. Most of the time, especially people who aren't very good at Call of Duty, they're going to push forward and they're going to try and go right into the area where they were just getting shot from instead of going around. For people who are new to Call of Duty, that's a good tip. If you're fighting somebody here, you get hurt and you back off and you heal, the person's probably going to be waiting for you. If they chase you, then I would suggest, you get shot, you go back here, lay down for a second, wait and see if they chase you. If they don't, do not stand up and go right back to where you were just at. I would say go back around, maybe hop up here, check for where they're at, drop down into this trench, and you should be able to catch them off guard if they're not, sound whoring you or whatever. So that's pretty much the best suggestion I can give for you guys on this map. Also, another big spot I would suggest staying away from, unless you just always want to run to where there's people, is this building right here. I think that being inside this building is basically asking to die 9 times out of 10. I think it's a super crappy place to be. I don't think it's ideal. If you're using an SMG, you can do good in here. It's it's really nice to rush up in here, maybe catch a couple people off guard, get 2 or 3 kills, and then leave. I would never stay here longer than 10-15 seconds to pick up a couple kills and leave, because people adapt, people get smart. If you're really not careful, you can get flooded from all 3 doorways, which is obviously not going to end well. So basically that's all I have for this map. Map control is really big on this map. It's nice for your team to have control of this building and to kind of have control of like either that side or this side. I personally prefer having control over this side. And then being able to just, like I said, use this right here to catch them coming off of spawn and off of these trenches. And then obviously it's usually if one team has control of this building, the other team has control of that building. So you just got to kind of pick what you want to play as. If you're using SMGs, I prefer having control over this building. If I'm using assault rifles, I prefer our team to have control over this building. So it's pretty much all just personal preference. I hope this video was useful for you guys. If you enjoyed it, please remember to hit the like button. I am really close to 660 subscribers. I would really appreciate it if you guys could hit the sub button if you are new to the channel. Anyways, guys, deuces.